first game we had was the Rams versus Packers. I'm gonna go with the upset, and I'm gonna go with the Rams on this one. Um, all I can say is Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Looks like the favorite to MVP to me.
He's been that way for years. He's like I said, and that's why I'm picking the Packers. He didn't have any turnovers. So Aaron Rodgers is not going to turn the ball over in most cases.
Nah, but I feel like this was more on the Rams defense than it was Aaron Rodgers doing his thing. Because I mean, the ending, the final score was 32-18, and all season long the Packers have been averaging 31 points a game, which is the highest in the NFL. So all the Rams had to do was play their game in defense, which they were pretty much non-existent, really. Um, they had no pass rush. I mean, uh, they only had 9 pressures on 37 dropbacks. And when they ran it up the middle, they got what they wanted. As a team, they rushed for 188 yards. And to that end, Ramsey gave up all 5 catches for all the 5 targets that he had for 54 yards and a touchdown. So I want to lean more that it was the defense's fault than anything else. Granted, they couldn't move the ball either.
I was going to say, I mean, the offense has to try to give the defense a shot to get off the field.
I mean, I'm with you there, but I mean, it's like they didn't do anything to help themselves. Like, the Packers got whatever they wanted all game.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
Nah, and I was just gonna say, especially, I think they were within striking distance, and then all of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers makes a 58-yard pass to Lazard to basically ice the game halfway through the fourth quarter.
Cold ice. It was a game, and then he let that go. I was like, yep, it's over.
Yeah, so I feel like the defense let them down more than anything else. I mean, we talked about Aaron Donald, not being 100%, but he was a non-factor, like nothing.
He was visibly emotional after the game too, or during the game on the sideline. But when you're not healthy, you can't expect to be the physical dominant force that you've been all year or throughout the years of your career.
Not at all. Um, yeah, well played, Packers. Home field advantage.
Did you see Jamal Adams trolling the Rams after they lost?
No, I missed it. What did he say?
He tweeted, he said, see y'all in Cabo, bring your own cigars. And I mean, it was like they had just lost. I was like, dang, he didn't even let it sink in.
He couldn't wait for that tweet.
It was like he had it loaded as soon as the clock hit 0. That rivalry is gonna be real next year. That's what happened. They had to play the division games 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row. Division games will beat you up before the playoffs or in the playoffs if that happens.
Yeah. Next game that was played was the Ravens versus the Bills. My thought coming into this game was I thought that the young quarterbacks were going to shine, but it was only 3-3 at the half. And then when Lamar Jackson went down, it was basically a wrap. I like the Ravens.
Oh yeah, once he hit his head, I was like, "Stop faking! Get up! You ain't hurt." Buffalo loses this game. Ravens. Old man yelling at cat. But yeah, it was more of, I think, what do you think it was more of? Lamar Jackson not being able to play quarterback or his surrounding cast not being able to help him out?
um, I just think they couldn't get the running game going, really. I mean, they were still in that game. Their defense played did a tremendous job on Josh Allen. Uh, what was one of the stats I saw? It said uh, Josh Allen was only 7 for 14 for 96 yards on throws that were 10 yards down the field. So they took away a big part of their game that the offense likes to do, and they're pretty successful. So I think the defense did their part, and I think it was still they were only down 2 possessions, even after that pick six that Lamar Jackson threw going into the fourth quarter. And we all know that very next possession, that's when he got hurt. And it was just downhill from there.
Yeah, it's when you said the 2 possessions thing, I had told my friend that Baltimore is not built to come from behind. They're a get the lead and keep the lead type of team. But once you're down more than 10 points on that team is not meant to come from behind, and they hadn't all season that I have seen.
I don't want to necessarily say that because I mean in the last 5 games they scored 40 points twice, 30 points once, and they had a couple 20s in there. But I mean they can score points, and only 2 possessions. I mean that's really nothing. They couldn't move the ball once Lamar Jackson was out of there.
What's crazy is that Huntley actually looked good out there. He did have the offense moving for one drive.
But they didn't score nothing.
Hey, they moved the ball though.
You play.
Trading field goals for touchdowns, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I actually like Josh Allen's future at quarterback, honestly. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers or Pat Mahomes, he definitely would be the MVP of the league this season because he played lights out this year.
I think it
gave Stephon Diggs a career year, along with Cole Beasley as well.
Yeah. MVP wise, I think it's going to go to Aaron Rodgers. But speaking of Patrick Mahomes, we had the Browns versus Chiefs, and all I can say is, Chad, anything is possible. I'm still taking the Chiefs in this game. But before I go there, hope Patrick Mahomes comes back strong and healthy. Don't like to see none of that. But the crazy part about it, the crazy part about it is that hit didn't look nasty at all. It just he got hit with the shoulder. He had the dude had an arm around his neck a little bit, but it didn't seem ugly.
I definitely have to roll with the Chiefs in this. So just let you know that had he stayed in the game, the Chiefs would have easily covered that spread.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, sometimes you gotta leave the game when you gotta leave the game, even if you're not hurt. When Patrick Mahomes is your name.
I don't know about not hurt. Did you see him try to get up?
I mean, I've tried to get up a few times, and I've had to, fake hurt.
What?
It happened. fake hurt.
Boy, I don't think he was faking it. That boy legs was like noodles.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. You come up with the craziest theories when you got your money on the line. You be like, they got his kid somewhere in the basement. They tied up. He about to lose.
I don't know if they would have easily covered that spread if he was in the game because the Chiefs caught a big break right before the half with Higgins having that fumble touchback.
Game right there, which is crazy.
All I'm saying is when Derek Carr did it twice, it was, blame the player, blame Derek Carr. It's all his fault. But somebody else do it in the playoffs. Oh, that's a dumb rule. They should change that rule. Get out of here.
I mean, it is kind of a stupid rule. They kind of doing it.
Nobody wanted to say that 2 years ago.
Hey, Derek Carr is a quarterback. You got to have better judgment than sticking your hand out like this.
Better judgment. It's called about it's being a competitor.
Competitively run out of bounds.
Yeah, you should remember that play. It was against the Cowboys.
If Dak had just ran out of bounds, our season would have been completely different.
Anyway,
If if was a fifth.
yeah. Um, all I'm saying is that hit didn't look that bad. I think the Browns, man, I'm not so sure that the Chiefs would have covered that spread easily if he would have stayed in. Because man, if they would have got that touchdown that was called a touchback, that would have been 10-19 at the half, and then they came back and hit that touchdown, which they brought it to 17-22. Granted, on that next series or whatnot, they had to punt the ball back to the Chiefs, and man, Chad Henne with that 13-yard run scramble on third down, and then Andy Reid calling that gutsy play call on the 4th and 1 to Tyreek. Man, that was just
Yeah, I wouldn't have gave it back to. I wouldn't have gave it away to the back to the Browns offense who was rolling.
yeah. I give him all the credit for doing that, and plus I mean, the type of equity Andy Reid got right now, he can't do nothing wrong.
Oh yeah, he's not getting fired.
Hell no. But we'll see, man. I hope Patrick Mahomes plays next weekend. They said that he's cleared to play practice on Wednesday, so we'll see how it goes.
He'll be playing. He'll be playing. It was a fault injury for my money.
Because that one's a good one. But the last game that we had on divisional round playoffs was the Saints versus Bucks, and all I can say is Tom Brady is the GOAT. I'm gonna go Bucks on this one. To me, a big deal in this game was turnovers. The Bucks converted 3 turnovers into touchdowns out of the 4 that the Saints committed. Breeze had a terrible game, throwing 3 picks. Um, he chose a hell of a time to have his worst game in his possible last game of his career.
I'm gonna have to roll with the Saints. Well, I said the same thing about Ben Roethlisberger, and I'm gonna let Drew Brees know too. I better not see you on this field next year because your days playing are over. I couldn't enjoy the game like I wanted to in New Orleans. I was gonna go back to Bourbon Street. It was gonna be a time. I was having a good time. I was at Archie Manning's restaurant. We was yucking it up with the locals. Had on my had on my Alvin Kamara joint. I was ready, baby. I was like, oh, I was in there. What Chaz called me the best team hopper this side of the west of the Mississippi. That's me, baby. I was in there. Had to get up out of there as soon as they lost. I was like, oh, I think they're gonna tear the city up. It's time to go back to the hotel. This was their Super Bowl shot. They don't have anymore.
Nope, they don't have it. Breeze is done.
It's over. Hey, but I did like that Jameis Winston trick play though. That was the highlight of the game for me. I was like, yo, they about to win. They about to win. They brought Jameis in.
Hey, I'm
If
saying,
they had only kept Jameis in. If they had only kept Jameis in.
why would you do that when you got Breeze? You don't do that.
Bruh, Breeze stunk it up.
You don't do that to Breeze unless he's hurt. You don't do that to
Nah,
Breeze.
not on this last game. I'm just saying, man. When you got money on the line again, it makes you say and do crazy things.
I'm saying you can't bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs, man. He's the GOAT.
And and surprisingly, I want to do it again this week.
Uh-uh. That offense is clicking. And that
Will
defense
AB
plays
get a ring? Will
that
AB
defensive
get
ring.
a ring?
Ah, I ain't thinking about that. I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about Brady getting a 7.
Man, I think Roger's gonna have something to say about it. He's happy. When you playing happy,
Hey, it's check out the next episode. You'll get our picks.
yeah, because I might switch up like I did PV's picks this week. I should have just left it alone.
Yeah, it was a good weekend of games, I must say.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how these NFC and AFC championship games turn out.